New England Patriots just absolutely demolished and smashed the Houston Texans from their defensive standpoint. Shut down C.J. Stroud, shut down the running game, held the Texans to under 20 yards rushing. C.J. Stroud had only 179 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions. Yes, I counted 4 interceptions. Was caused by this Patriots affluently just opposing defense. Sorry about that, guys. Hold on, guys. But yeah, the Patriots defense was opposed, and they completely just held the Texans down. They held C.J. Stroud to 212 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions. Jaquavius Marks was held under 20 yards rushing, 14 carries for 17 yards. They completely got shut all the way down, every which way possible. Both teams was held under 300 yards of total offense. The Texans just did not get anything going offensively as far as throwing the ball. Yards per play was very small. The Patriots defense was just completely getting after C.J. Stroud. They got after him and had 5 sacks, 4 turnovers. Drake May had a lot of short field possessions. The story pretty much is, like I said, the 4 turnovers by C.J. Stroud, his inaccuracy with the ball, Houston Texans' lack of ball movement down the field, and they had to rely on a couple turnovers on their defensive side to get them in their short field because their offense wasn't able to sustain drives because the Patriots front 4 and pretty much inside delay and outside, blitz packages and pressure packages that they put on C.J. Stroud was just confusing him. The bull rush at times from Chison, Harold Landry, etc. The tackle, excellent in-play tackling from Ellis, Robert Spillane, and plus the couple of interceptions that was tipped and picked off by Carlton Davis earlier on in the game. And then the interception return from Marcus Jones was a thing that just absolutely put the nail in the coffin for the Houston Texans and put the Patriots over. Drake May is probably playing in his second year some of the best ball I've seen any second-year quarterback has played. And you got to give credit to the coaching staff from Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels. And you got to give credit to the Patriots defensive coaching staff on the other side for really forcing turnovers, getting sacks, getting after the quarterback on their end. The secondary playing lights out, Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis, Marcus Jones, and also their special teams for absolutely being dominant and putting the game into their offensive hands and letting Drake May get in short field and short possessions. The running game from Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson, and Stephon Diggs, his veteran presence and leadership being the only older, wily savvy veteran to really give this younger core guys, some really pointers and advice on how to really put the game in the balance. And so you got to give credit to that Patriots squad. And this is one of the teams that I said in my predictions video that they could possibly make a run towards the Super Bowl. And I can see it now at the end of the day because they are a team that's just playing lights out, playing with fire, and and house money. Because I didn't think people really seen how good this team really is, because people were saying about their schedule earlier on in the regular season. But when in the postseason, we hadn't seen them play at this level. But they continue to play at a really good level, at a high level. Drake May, like I said, he's playing his best football I've seen, at a young age and in his second year. So that's just really, he's only going to get better at this point, and he's only going to get really, really good, and he's going to get really, really proponent with that core, man. You got to give credit where credit is due to the coach at the front office led by Robert Kraft, and just really finding guys like Mike Vrabel, keeping Josh McDaniels around, and then being able to really sustain um, that balance in that younger core roster, and really putting together some ball that's really just been upon it. I mean, really been apparent and apropos. So I can see them not only getting to the Super Bowl, but possibly throwing their hat in the ring, and possibly even having a shot of winning it. You never know what could happen at this end of the day. But now they play the Denver Broncos, and this time when the Denver Broncos don't have Jarrett Stidham, so the Patriots are pretty much gonna do all kinds of blitz packages. They're gonna try to throw their hat in the ring and try to get after Jarrett Stidham, and they're gonna try to find their own way of putting together drives that's just that's gonna be a stepping stone in a stick, man. And in my opinion, the Patriots are really gonna have a lot. They're gonna have a lot of things, a lot of room to handle. They're gonna be a tough outing for whoever is gonna be heading against them, man. And I can see them possibly even not only making the Super Bowl, even but if not winning it, man, because they had the roster, they had the team, they overall had not only had the quarterback to do it for not only this season, but they're gonna be in a lot of games. They're gonna be competing for years to come. When it comes to the AFC, they're gonna be one of the tougher opponents in the AFC, and they're gonna be there for years to come. And it's really exciting now seeing that it's a new crop, a new breed of quarterbacks. From the Bo Nixes, the Drake Mays, the Caleb Williams, et cetera, and the older veterans, that's going to be pretty much on their way out, like an Aaron Rodgers, and then more than likely, in when the years to come, is Matt Stafford. I'll get to the Rams in a minute, because they survived in Soldier Field. But man, what a game for the Patriots, man, and very much appreciative of what Mike Vrabel and what Josh McDaniels and what they've done, and over the course of a year and some change, because they were like 4-12 or 4-12 or 5-12, 4-13, something like that. They were at the bottom of their division, and people did not think they was gonna have a big turnaround, not only to win a division, but go into the AFC Championship game in one single season. Nobody didn't expect this to happen. At least at this point, I didn't even really expect it to be happening. I know they were gonna probably make the playoffs as a wild card team, but I did not expect them to win a division. That was just not on my card. I would have thought the Buffalo Bills would have been more the team that has a shot of not only winning the division but going far in the postseason. But that didn't happen the way that I was anticipating it to happen earlier on in the year. But when I start to really watch and pay attention how these guys were playing and how these guys were balling, yeah, I just said, it's time to pay attention to the Patriots at this point and give them the kind of credit that they're deserving. And at the end of the day, I cannot wait and see what they're gonna do next week in the AFC Championship game, going to Miles, Colorado, on that altitude against the Denver Broncos. So we'll just have to wait and see how that championship game goes. It starts at 3:00 Eastern Time in Miles, Colorado, and in Denver, where Jim Nance, Tony Romo, Tracy Wilson, and CBS Sports will be down there to cover it. And cannot wait to see what's gonna happen, man, because it's gonna be a hard fought battle. It's gonna be a back and forth. It's gonna be raw, man. Both defenses gonna be on point. They're gonna be shutting people down. We'll see how it goes, man. What a game, and a really good win for them. Now let's get to the other teams that I want to talk about, and that is the LA Rams and the Chicago Bears. Now, a lot of people are really mad. Bears fans are not happy with this game and how it played out. But let me just say, I'm trying to get to the. So yeah, the LA Rams win by the score 20-17 over the Chicago Bears. And as you can see on my picture font for the images, man, that Rams secondary, who was vastly criticized throughout this whole postseason and throughout the end of the regular season, they were criticized to the point where people was not believing in them at all. They didn't believe that they could win this game, or at least people didn't believe that they could win not only this game, but they didn't believe they can like really dominate. They thought they was gonna dominate the Panthers last week, and the fact that they didn't dominate them, uh, and everything, that just did not really come to fruition, man. But for me, what really put it over the top for the Rams is their secondary was outstanding today. They completely disguised their coverages. They completely disguised their looks and stunts, and they controlled the line of scrimmage on Caleb Williams and that Chicago Bears passing game. Now, the Bears was able to put up a lot of yards. I think they put up over 465 yards. But the thing is with the Bears, it's like I said before, and it's like I said before in my preview, they cannot get off to slow starts. And they got off to too many slow starts from week 8 to all the way up to week 17. They just got off to too many slow starts. In the first 3 quarters, and from week 8 to week 17, they have been a combined total, as far as points, have been outscored 61 to 38 in those games, and that really is a problem. And then going into this game against a good team like the LA Rams, you cannot get out to a slow start. That's just a bad look for you. But again, this is a young team, a young football team. You know, they got a lot of young guys in the draft, you know, from Burden to Roman Duzier, you know, and also picking up Kyle Monangai to go along with DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore, and also drafting, of course, at the number 1 spot with Caleb Williams from last year. You know, picking up a new coach in Ben Johnson, replaced Matt Eberflus. It's just so many different changes that the Bears had, but it still wasn't enough for them to really put it over the top against the LA Rams. It's like I said before, I predicted the Rams and the Seahawks would be in the NFC Championship game, and that's what it's looking like for me. I just think that this team is much better than advertised. They shouldn't really been in the 5th seed. If anything, the game should have been really going to LA, going from SoFi Stadium in California, because this Rams defense, they got back to what they were. The pass, Ari Young, Jared Verse. Their secondary was a lot better with Quentin Lake returning, Kobe Durant, Emmanuel Forbes, and Cameron Curl. They played such a great game. They really disguised their coverages. They really was man-to-man and really put it all together. And so that's going to be a thing for moving forward is if you're the LA Rams, and then of course this might be Matt Stafford's last year. I'm not really for certain, you know, because they did sign a 2-year contract according to what I was seeing in the news, but I don't know if was gonna return. So if they do have a chance to win it all, this is the best time to do it, because you might not get a chance to, especially if Matthew Stafford's not returning. So they're gonna have to find another quarterback if that was gonna be the case. If he does not come back, which, you know, I'm pretty much sure and hoping that he does come back. But you never know, you know, depending on how the body was feeling. People were saying about his bad back earlier on in the year, way before the regular season started. You know, people was questioning if he, you know, because of his back injuries. It's like if that was going to be a big factor. But it turns out that it wasn't. Turns out he's pretty much fine. But we'll see what's going to be in the up-and-coming days as they play the Seattle Seahawks for the 3rd time in the NFC, but this time for the NFC Championship. The chance to go, and that's going to be a solid game, man. That's going to be a really heavyweight fight, exchange back and forth, very low scoring. I think it's going to be, you know, both defenses are highly competitive. They're vicious, they're vaunted, they can get after it. That's going to be a low scoring game, a back and forth battle, even just as much as this one was. You know what I mean? It wasn't like this game to me was just a battle of turnovers and a battle of will. And the same thing is going to be like it for next week. Mr. C15, hey, what's going on? He said the Rams had a chance to win it all again. Yeah, they do. They definitely have a chance to win it all. Mikey7189, hey, what's going on? You said the Bears suck. Yeah. Michigan Iron Will. Hey, what's going on? You said raps for the Rams next week. I mean, I think they'll put up a fight against the Seahawks, but I had the Seahawks going to the Super Bowl, so yeah, I'm sticking with that prediction. So I'm sticking with that prediction and winning it over the Patriots. So I'm sticking with that prediction, and I'm sticking with it. I just think the Seahawks, to me, have proved all season that they belong in this race. They play the best complementary football I've seen all year. They're number one in point differential. Um, yeah, they're number one in point differential, so that's a big problem if you're the Rams going into that game. So yeah, I just don't know how that's gonna play out. How that's gonna play out for them, knowing that they're number one in point differential. They get after the quarterback with ease. It's gonna be tough for them. It's gonna be really tough for them. But their defense played good tonight. But we'll see next week. And as for the Patriots and the Broncos, that game will pretty much be a back and forth exchange, and that pretty much will be a heavyweight fight. Now, for those who has questions, uh, for those of you who have questions about any updates, any NFL news that's going on, I did read something really early. I saw that Brian Dable was interviewed for two coaching positions. Uh, he said after seeing the Seahawks BTA the 49ers is so visible that it raps for the Rams, and the Rams pointer fingers is hurt. So and the Rams pointer finger is hurt. So oh yeah, yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah, but as far as yeah, the Seahawks putting the belt to ass to the 49ers. Yeah, with this, yeah, the Seahawks putting the belt to ass to the 49ers. That game pretty much was just a wrap from opening kickoff with that 97-yard return from Rashid Shaheed. The Rams have a lot of special teams problems, so that's going to be a big issue going into that game too, because the special teams the special teams play could actually play a big factor because the Rams have been struggling in special teams all year, so that could be a huge factor. And then also, um, the Rams are susceptible of giving up big plays. If you're the Seahawks, you got to find ways to make them big plays, and they've been known to do that all year. So you never know how that could go at a certain point, at any given point. And then for the Rams, if they want to go and win this game, they are going to have to run the football. And I mean, they're gonna have to run the football. I mean, stay committed to the run. To the run. Don't get away from what was working in this one. Don't get away from it. Because Matt Stafford did not have a great game, and next week it's gonna be very tough for them in that loud Lumen Field 12 man. If the 49ers was healthy, you said it'd be a different in that game. But I'm surprised that the Niners even won against the Eagles. Um, I don't think it would be different if the Niners was healthy in the Seattle game. I don't think it would be that different. And I'm surprised how the Niners won, but I'm surprised how pathetic the Eagles played. I mean, the Eagles did not play that good at all. I mean, that was that was the thing I was surprised about. I was surprised how pathetic they played. I mean, they played really pathetic. And also think about this too. I didn't think AJ Brown earlier on in that game was gonna drop 3 passes from Jalen Hurts. But they want to sit up here and blame Jalen Hurts for that. How? How is that Jalen Hurts' fault? I mean, like I said, Jalen Hurts don't play no receiver. Yeah, you don't have one of the better receivers in AJ Brown dropping balls like that. So, yeah. And then also the same thing with Devontae Smith dropping a couple passes. So, yeah. Yeah, I had to remove a comment, guys. Anyways, But yeah, those are my thoughts, guys, on and the results about last night's games. Tell me what you guys. Also, if you want to let me know down in the comment section, down below after this stream, what you think. I'm about to get on out of here. I'm about to get me some sleep. Said it's a wrap for the Broncos. After Bo Nix breaking his ankle, it's quite tell that the Patriots got a shot at the Super Bowl. The Seahawks and the Patriots. Yeah, and that was my guess too. Michigan Iron Will and my prediction. But yeah, you can just go back into my page and check out my videos. It's already up. It's already uploaded on there to tell you my thoughts and my prediction for the playoffs. So you'll see it up there. But anyways, I'm gonna get on out of here, guys. I'm gonna give me some sleep, and I'm gonna rest up for the night. I'll come back tomorrow and do some more sports coverage. Later on in the week, I'll probably talk about the AFC and NFC Championship games, but not now. But other than that, I'm gonna be out of here. Thank you all for watching and tuning in, liking and sharing and commenting, subscribing. All right. See you.